Welcome to another edition of a post-game show. The New York Knicks have now lost 3 straight games. They lose to the Los Angeles Clippers 106-95. So, after winning 9 straight games, the New York Knicks have now dropped 3 in a row. They've lost to the Charlotte Hornets. They have lost to the Sacramento Kings, and they have lost to the Los Angeles Clippers. We knew coming into this road trip, this West Coast trip, that it was going to be tough. We knew that for sure. And, which is why the game versus the Charlotte Hornets was very, very, very important. So the New York Knicks, after the great win in Boston, they go home and they lay an egg against the Charlotte Hornets. Then they travel to Sacramento, and then we all know what happened in that game. And then tonight, they lose to the Los Angeles Clippers 106-95. Just couldn't find a rhythm offensively all game long, and they shot the ball poorly again. Versus Sacramento Kings last game, they shot the ball extremely poorly. But tonight, 7-31 from 3, 22% from the field. 22% from 3, then 35% from the field. Big task, bro. What happened? Yeah, man. These back-to-back games versus the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Clippers have not been a pleasure for the Knicks fans to watch, for us Knicks fans to watch. That's for sure. Obviously, we can get into the Julius Randle situation later on. But look, 9-game winning streak. The Knicks are still 9 games over 500. I proposed a question on Twitter at Knicks Nation. Are we concerned? Are we concerned? Most of the fan base are saying no. Most of the fan base are saying, look, we're still 9 games over 500. I'm not concerned. Let's just get Jalen Brunson back, and let's just go from there. Let's just get Jalen Brunson back and go from there. I think that's my take as well. I'm not honestly concerned. But the New York Knicks have another game tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers have been playing really well. So the schedule does not get easier at all. Cam in the chat, what's up, man? Bad time to start losing. Yeah, I believe I think the Knicks are tied for the 6th seed with the Brooklyn Nets, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, they are tied with the Brooklyn Nets. We have one more win over Brooklyn, but we have one more loss. So, not a great time to start losing, like Cam stated in the chat. But I propose a question on Twitter at Knicks Nation. Are we concerned? And most of the fan base is saying no, we're not concerned. Still 9 games over 500. This has been a good season. Had that great 9-game winning streak, right? But we just have to get the number one priority right now is to get Jalen Brunson healthy. That should be priority number 1. Get Jalen Brunson healthy, and once we get him healthy, we're rolling. Because as we see, without Jalen Brunson, it is not pretty. It is not pretty at all. We're basically, a little bit better than the team last season without JB. So we need to get Jalen Brunson healthy, and I hope it's just a bruise for Jalen Brunson, but they're saying it's just a bruise. He had x-rays on his foot, and they were negative. So hopefully some rest here from Jalen Brunson can get him going and can get him back on the court. As we all know, Jalen Brunson probably will be out tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Lakers, because the Knicks are on a back-to-back. They play the Lakers tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern versus LA. No LeBron James in that game, but still, like I said, the Lakers are playing extremely well. So this was a good look, guys. This was a tough road trip going into it. This is what makes this Charlotte Hornet loss thing even more, right? We win that game, then it's 2 losses in a row. So, we didn't take care of business at home versus Charlotte Hornets. So now we lost 3 straight games. Kings are a great team. The Clippers are a good team. Lakers are a good team tomorrow. And, we're showing you that, without Jalen Brunson, we're missing him. And Jalen Brunson calms everyone down. And tonight, Julius Randle, Mr. Randle himself, had himself another episode that we haven't seen from him all season, right? We haven't seen Julius Randle have an episode like that pretty much all season. We saw it last season a lot, and Julius Randle, took the time this offseason and got right. He was extremely frustrated throughout the game. I get that. He was extremely frustrated, wasn't getting any calls. The refs were letting the Knicks play and the Clippers play. And both teams weren't getting to the line. The refs were letting them play, and then Julius Randle was extremely frustrated. Big Tass says this team looks lost without Brunson. Like, Brunson calms everyone down. He calms the situation down. He's our leader. Brunson is our true leader. But tonight, offensively, we just didn't have it. We're not clicking. When the offense runs through Randle, especially when Randle goes through these shooting slumps like he has been last game versus the Kings, and then tonight he was in a bit of a funk. Especially mentally. But yeah, we haven't seen one of these spurts from Randle in a while. Tom Thibodeau was holding him back, hugging him. If you haven't seen the clip, it's on my Twitter at Knicks Nation. Just go take a look at it. Tom Thibodeau was holding him back. Randle's arguing with players. He's arguing with Evan Fournier. Derrick Rose is trying to hold him back. Then Randle's just screaming at one of the Knicks, I guess, video coordinators. The same video coordinator that he screamed out, I think, last season or 2 seasons ago. It's the same guy that he screamed at. He's screaming at him, saying, let's go to the bed. I'm not a lip reader, but I'm pretty sure he said, let's go to the back or something like that. He was clearly heated. And for Randle to be in that state of mind in that moment was alarming, number one. We do not want Julius Randle to go back to that place, number one. So hopefully after tonight's games, he can, own up to it and admit to it that he was in a bad place during the game. And we don't want to see that at all. And hopefully Randle can, when he gets mad, when he gets frustrated, he gets frustrated. He gets really upset. And whoever's in front of him, coach, player, he's going to go after you, fair or not. I mean, in my eyes, that's not fair at all. You have your teammates, your brothers, your coaches are brothers, your brothers as well. You shouldn't get like that towards your teammates or your coaches for that matter. And for Randle screaming at the players, screaming at the coaches, Tom Thibodeau obviously subbed him out after that, but we haven't seen that from Randle this season. And which is why it's a little alarming to me versus, this season versus last season. Last season was a disaster, but now the Knicks are, 3-game losing streak. By no means am I hitting the panic button. I'm just saying it just gives that moment that Randle had, that moment that he had, the outburst that he had, it just magnifies it even more, right? We're not used to dealing with that this season. We've had a great season so far, still had a great season. We're just a little hiccup in the road here. 3 straight losses. West Coast trip was going to be tough from the get. It was not going to be easy, but seeing that from Randle tonight is a concern for me. I mean, it's a concern. We don't want him to get back in that headspace. We don't want to get him back in that headspace. So hopefully, he's out of it. Hopefully he can snap out of it tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Lakers and get it rolling. Salvage this 3-game losing streak. Tomorrow's going to be tough. Lakers are hungry. Back-to-back. The NBA has did the Knicks wrong with these back-to-backs and this West Coast trip. It hasn't been a pretty travel, situation for the New York Knicks, but no excuses, right? Guys are tired. Everyone's tired around the league. I use the tired excuse versus the Charlotte Hornets. Not going to use that excuse anymore because, it is what it is at this point. You play who's on your schedule, and tonight was just an unfortunate circumstance for the New York Knicks. So let's go through this box score. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. So the New York Knicks lost to the Los Angeles Clippers 106-95. Spike Lee was in attendance tonight. Julius Randle, 5 of 24 from the field. 5 of 24 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3, 3 of 10 from 3, 19 points. Inefficient night for Julius Randle. When Julius Randle was shooting like that, you're not going to win many games. And this was the old Randle. We've had superstar Randle for majority of the season, but tonight was reminiscent of the old Julius Randle. RJ Barrett, 5 of 12 from the field, 11 points. The Clippers were pretty much going after RJ Barrett all night on defense. Paul George was going after him. There was times where, Thibs sat RJ Barrett for long periods of time due to the fact that he wanted Josh Hart in the game, and RJ Barrett was pretty much, He was being sought out after on defense. 11 points for RJ Barrett. Team low, minus 21. Emmanuel Quickly, nice bounce back game for IQ, 26 points, 10 rebounds to go along with 4 assists, 8-18 from the field. Efficient night for IQ. Grimes started this game hot, but the Knicks sort of just went away from him. And, that's what I don't like to see. I don't like to see this team just continuing to go away from Grimes. Grimes showed you versus the Kings that he's a playmaker, 1. He could put the ball in the basket, 2. And he's a hell of a defender. So I want to see Grimes be more consistent on the offensive end, whether that's, drawing up plays for him, getting him in schemes. But Grimes, to me, has all the tools. He's too talented to just being shut out of these games. He is. And Grimes and RJ Barrett are two major pieces. If the Knicks are going to succeed in the playoffs, Grimes and RJ Barrett have to step up. And it just has to happen. And Grimes is just too talented to being shut out of these games. So Grimes only attempted 8 field goals for your starting shooting guard, 3 of 8, 0 of 4 from 3, 7 points. Obi Toppin, nice little game out of Obi Toppin, right? Came in the game, provided energy. He has chemistry with Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickly. Only 13 minutes from Obi Toppin, which is, especially nights like tonight, is criminal. Obi played okay. Not saying he played great. I'm just saying, nights like Randall. Look, I know you're going to keep Randall in there for him to, if anyone can snap out of it, it's Randall, right? I know you're going to keep Randall in the game for him to snap out of it. But Obi Toppin tonight provided, the little things that the New York Knicks needed. And, going into the second half, the Knicks actually held a 2-point lead. And Obi Toppin came in the game in that second quarter and really was a key contributor for that. So Obi Toppin, good game out of Obi Toppin, but only 13 minutes out of Obi. 5 rebounds, 10 points out of Obi Toppin. Then obviously we're missing Jalen Brunson. So Miles McBride came in off the bench with 6 minutes and 2 points, 1 steal, 1 block. So yeah, guys, I mean, tonight is, one of those nights where I don't know how to feel, because on one hand, I'm like frustrated that now that we've won 9 straight games, right? Now that we've taken a step back and now that we've lost 3 straight games, and to top it off, Julius Randle had his, little moment tonight. I'm a little frustrated, but I don't know exactly how to feel. But, it's just, we had to look. The beauty of the NBA is that we have a game tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Tough game, big game, national televised game. It's on ESPN. Probably not going to have Jalen Brunson, but we have to bounce back. We have to. I think now Brooklyn, we're tied with Brooklyn for the 5th seed. If not, Brooklyn has jumped us. Let me see if ESPN updated their standings. Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are now in the 5th seed, and the New York Knicks are now in the 6th seed. Brooklyn has 1 less loss than the New York Knicks, and we've played 2 more games than Brooklyn. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, in one sense, I'm not concerned. I'm not, but I just want Jalen Brunson to get healthy. Number one, if we lost versus the Kings, if we lost versus the Hornets, if we lost tonight with Jalen Brunson, then I would be like, okay, what is going on? But for the most part, I'm sort of neutral right now. I want to feel a certain way, but this Knicks team is still 9 games over 500. We're still 2.5 games above the Miami Heat. So, but we can't keep our foot off the gas pedal. We still have to win these games. PR Defcon in the chat. I agree. Grimes should have been more involved. You could tell they were closing out hard on Grimes at the 3, and we could have used him to get open looks or buckets. Yeah, man. They got to get Grimes going here offensively. And, I've been saying it all year. Grimes has all the tools, and he is way too talented to being shut out of these games. Buzzer beater, man. What's up? In these games, IQ and RG have to take over and go for 35 apiece. They might not get it, but it provides a springboard. IQ did his thing tonight, but RJ Barrett, was kind of shut out tonight. He was offensively, he was off, and defensively, the Clippers were going right at him. Paul George was going at him. And yeah, buzzer beater. Nets are now the 5th seed. Hawks and the Heat are on our ass. That's for sure, man. The Atlanta Hawks and the Heat, 2.5. We still have 2 games against the Miami Heat, too. So, they're circling those games on their calendar. Still got 2 games versus the Miami Heat. Schedule doesn't get easier. I mean, if we look at the schedule, we got the Lakers tomorrow, and we have Portland on Tuesday. Then the New York Knicks have 3 days off, which I'm sure that the Knicks are probably going to relish in those 3 days off. And then you have Denver, then Minnesota, then at Miami. So, the schedule doesn't get easier. And like I said earlier in the stream, I asked the question on Twitter, what's everyone's feeling right now? What is everyone feeling right now? I know we're on a 3-game losing streak. I know right now it's not a great feeling, especially after the episode that we saw from Julius Randle. But look, 9 games over 500, still, solidified ourselves in the top 6. But at the same time, we got to win, man. We got to win these games. There's a lot of teams in the NBA that are going through the same scenarios we are. A lot of teams dealing with injuries. And, Jalen Brunson's itching to get back on the court. But priority number 1 for me is to get Jalen Brunson healthy. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is to get Jalen Brunson healthy. Jalen Brunson means so much to this Knicks team. And, life without Jalen Brunson is, I don't want to live that again. Jordan in the chat, appreciate you. Jordan Morgan in the chat. It's frustrating, but I think it is better to go through bumps now and figure it out than to fall flat in the playoffs. JB has to stay healthy. I agree. It's better to go through these bumps now because come April, come next month, we do not want to go through these bumps. So, Josh Hart said it during the winning streak, right? He was like, look, all this winning is great. I'm happy that, we're undefeated with me, but, we still got work to do. And, this is when the challenge starts. This is when, the real Knicks team, you look in the mirror, you look yourself in the mirror and come out of it. This is where great teams are made, A good Knicks team, and I do think they're going to come out of this, will bounce right back, 3-game losing streak, good Knicks team would just bounce right back. And we have all season, We've gone through these winning streaks and losing streaks, and we've gone through back and forth through this. So I do think, especially with the health of Jalen Brunson, I do think that they will bounce back, and hopefully. I mean, we don't want to see them fall back in the same bad habits that we have been early on in the season. We don't want to see that at all. And I do think they will bounce back, though. PR in the chat, I'm more worried about Brunson's health than the past few losses. Sucks that we lost a few, but we have shown fight each game. Yeah, especially the Kings game. We showed fight. We came back versus Sacramento Kings, and then, they were shooting lights out, and the Knicks just couldn't hit the side of a backboard. I mean, Emmanuel quickly, that game just couldn't hit anything at all. And, and the Knicks as a team, free throw shooting has been a problem. And during the Kings game, they were poor in shooting the free throws. So tonight's game, they did, shoot their free throws well. But, other than that, offensively, they just couldn't click. And when you have Julius Randle shooting poorly like the way he did tonight, you combat that with his frustration. And, that scene from Randle, I did not like to see. Don't know what your guys' are thoughts. What your guys' are thoughts about the Julius Randle outburst. But I didn't like to see that because I thought those days were, over. I thought that Randle was past us. Not saying that Randle's, Julius Randle's always going to be Julius Randle, right? But his season has been so great that we forgot about all of this. We forgot about his antics like this. And tonight he got extremely frustrated, and he was just back at his arguing with the players, arguing with the video guy, the same guy that he argued with last season, the same guy. And I don't know what he has against this guy. I don't. I don't know what this guy did to him. If this guy is like calling him out behind the scenes during these film sessions, this video guy, it seems like he has something against this guy that he keeps like attacking this one guy. But having Tom Thibodeau hold you back like that in a bear hug is just, it's not something you want to see, man. It's You know, I thought those days were over still. But yeah, man, 3-game losing streak. The Knicks have a game tomorrow versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully they can bounce back, and we need to bounce back. Don't think Brunson will be, available for that game. We're hoping, but we'll see. The smart move would just be to keep him out, continue to keep him out, keep him rehabbing his foot. Because if the Knicks keep Brunson out tomorrow, so he was out there in the Kings game. That was 2 days ago. Well, he played. He missed the second half. He was out yesterday. He was out tonight. He'll probably be out tomorrow. That's 3 days. Knicks have a rest day on Monday. That's 4 days. Knicks have a game versus the Portland Trailblazers on Tuesday. Then if he misses that game, that's 5 days. So if you're the New York Knicks and you're looking ahead to the schedule, after that game versus the Portland Trailblazers, the New York Knicks have 3 extra days off. So that would give him over a week, 8 days to rest that foot. So if you're the New York Knicks, you're probably looking at the schedule and thinking to yourself, we can buy him a week here. We can buy him some time off. We can buy him a week. We got to get him healthy for our playoff push. Still got, 14, 15 games left of the season. So the Knicks are probably looking at that route. But hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't work for the Knicks, so I don't know what they're, thinking, what their thought process is. But if I was put in that position and I was, let's look at the schedule, in between the Portland game and the Denver game, the Knicks have 3 days off. So, they're probably going to give Brunson the next 2 games off, and that's a smart thing to do. I would, because I don't want this foot thing, anything foot related. I don't want this foot thing to linger. I don't want this foot thing to linger at all. Every time I think sore foot, I'm thinking plantar fasciitis. I don't want this thing to linger at all. Get his foot healthy in time for the playoffs, and let's just make a push, man. We need to make a push, after the Portland game, get Brunson healthy, and let's get it going. But yeah, man, Knicks have to snap out of it tomorrow. Another game tomorrow, another day, another game. So appreciate you guys in the chat, all of you guys contributing during the comments. Appreciate you guys as always. But I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit that thumbs up button as well. New podcast is coming soon with my co-host Chris, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, be back tomorrow. So have a good night and peace.